Hey everyone, it's Enigma Hood. Today I want to talk a little bit about a supposed double standard between minorities and the majority when it comes to racism. I was having kind of like a friendly debate with one of my friends on YouTube. I had sent everyone a video about this Beck guy that's on Fox News, and I hate that bastard. He's such a son of a bitch. But in the video, he makes some very insensitive comments, and if you haven't seen them, if you haven't seen the video yet, well, take a look at this.
Here's where the trouble, really, for me, it just kind of goes off the tracks. You've got Jesse Jackson, the week that he says Barack Obama is acting white, which is an unbelievable racist statement. I mean, if I said, I don't know, I don't think I can vote for that Rudy Giuliani because he's acting a little black, he'd be picketing in front of my building tonight.
So basically the argument is that it's not fair that Jesse Jackson can say that Obama is acting white. It's not fair that he can say that and get away with it, but he can't say it as a white man. He can't say that Giuliani is acting a little black. He's not going to vote for him because he's acting a little black. And he's right. People would not be outraged, and people weren't outraged by hearing Jesse Jackson say that saying that Obama is acting a little too white, or whatever the fuck he said. Okay, basically here's what's... I have to shed some reality on the situation. What Jesse Jackson said was indeed racist. It was stupid, and I think it was wrong. Those are my personal opinions. I think it was racist, wrong, and stupid. However, I must stress that I am not in the least bit outraged by him saying those things. And that is the key difference. The thing is, there is a history of discrimination and oppression of minorities in America. And in any kind of democratic institution, the majority can oppress the minority because the balance of power shifts in the majority's favor. And in this country, the majority is white. So there is a history of discrimination against them. I sent a kind of like a thorough explanation to my friend. Let me just read that. It's not right, I agree. But Jackson's statements are tolerated by society because Jackson is part of the minority. People simply aren't outraged to hear him say that, by either blacks or whites. Beck's initial comments were about a double standard in America, about how Jesse Jackson can say Obama is acting white, and Beck bitched about how he can't say that, or say that he won't vote for Giuliani because he's acting a little black. It just showed a lack of understanding between the difference between majority and the minority, and the fundamental imbalance of power. Because of the history of discrimination in this country, more tolerance is given to minorities to express opinions like Obama is acting kind of white. It's the same kind of tolerance that exists between males and females. Females have had a history of being abused and mistreated by males, especially when it comes to domestic violence. There is an imbalance of power between males and females, with males being part of the metaphorical, but not literal, majority, and females being the metaphorical minority. So for the same reason, we are more tolerant when a female hits a male. Beck was not outraged by the fact that Jackson said Obama is acting kind of white. He was not outraged, just like I am not outraged by it. And just like how most people are not outraged by it. He was outraged by the hypocrisy. He was outraged by the fact that he could not say the same exact thing. He was outraged by the double standard, but he was not outraged by what Jesse Jackson said. He probably thought it was racist like he said it was, but he was not outraged, because if he really was outraged by what he said, he would have not said anything about a double standard. Here's what he would have said. if he really was outraged. He would have said, "I can't believe Jesse Jackson said this. I am outraged. What he said was despicable. It was wrong. It was racist. He should be ashamed of himself for saying that Obama is acting too white." That's how he would have reacted if he really was outraged. But he didn't react that way. What did he say? He said, "Why can't I say the same exact thing?" That's what he was outraged about. He was outraged by the double standard. To help illustrate this concept of a double standard, I want to show you a video that ABC 2020 did, showing people's reactions to how a woman is beating up a man. And it shows that this is not necessarily right. A woman beating up a man is not necessarily right, but it's tolerated. It's not seen as bad. It's not seen as bad as a man beating a woman. Just like Jesse Jackson saying that Obama is acting white is not as bad as Glenn Beck saying Giuliani is acting too black. And well, take a look at the video.
Want to do that again? So I can track you down again? So I can find you again? Sit there.
It really hurts. Stop.
We've seen what people do when a woman is abused by a man.
Stop.
Sit there.
Stop.
Sit there.
You look like a psychotic person.
But we wondered, what would happen if we reversed the sexes? What if the victim were a man and the abuser a woman?
Huh?
You want to start with me? Nothing.
But confronted with this, what will people do when hidden cameras are rolling and our actress is out of control?
No.
Huh?
No.
One after another, people pass by and keep right on going. But what would a cop do when a woman is abusing a man?
Self-centered.
Hi, guys. Why not call 911?
What they would have, they would just have a little tiff. It'd be all right.
I find it upsetting. I would find it more upsetting if he were putting his hands on her.
If you're wondering why they didn't call 911, well, he's a cop.
If it had been the man,
Oh, without a doubt.
you would have stepped in.
Yeah. It's call it old-fashioned views.
It's a double standard.
It is. What can I tell you? I mean, if you're raised the way I was raised, you don't put your hands on it.
So that's basically it. I want to reaffirm my position. I do think what Jesse Jackson said was wrong. It was racist and it was stupid, but I am not outraged by him saying that. And neither was Glenn Beck. He was just outraged by the fact that he couldn't say the same thing.